So you're a digital agency owner and you're looking to streamline, simplify how you do SEO for your clients. My name is Ed Weidman. I've been in the digital marketing space since 2010. I started my agency in 2016. I've coached thousands of agency owners since then, helping them essentially get unstuck, helping them on the business front, helping them close clients and consistently grow their businesses, but also on the technical stuff. For me, SEO was always one of those things that was time intensive. It was costly. It required a lot of moving parts. And I just got sick and tired of what people had to say. Oh, you have to do this and you have to do that. You know, you have to do press releases or Web 2.0s or guest posts or backlinks or PBNs or, you know, you name it, local relevance networks, right? We've all done that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that stuff may not play a role in SEO, but if you focus on the right types of clients and the right kinds of niches, and you streamline your process, then you don't need all that. So I'm going to show you how to basically do two things. Get your keyword research dialed in, super simple, and then lay out your SEO outline, if you will, where you can superimpose all your content on it and then build out a site for basically free that can rank on Google. Now, you may not believe me, but you know, this is what I've been doing for years. And I thought I would show you an example. So this is a client of mine in Florida. These guys just came on board 6 weeks ago. They were referred to me, and I had built a brand new website doing exactly, you know, the process I'm going to show you now. And literally, they're all over page one in these locations. Now, not all of these are large, so some of you are going to say, "Oh, well, Ed, Trinity is only a population like 8,000." Well, I used to live here, so there's a ton of houses worth over $400,000 or $500,000. So there's money in all of these places. Okay. The point is, this is a 6-week-old website. Okay. I invested $10 in a domain. I put in 3 hours of effort doing keyword research and then doing the content and the on-page SEO and all the stuff I had to do. And this site has been, you know, ranking consistently. I hit page 1 of Google in like 2 weeks. And now it's literally cranking everywhere else. And we have, I think, like 60 locations we're targeting. So this is what you can expect when you do stuff the right way. So let's just dive right in. I decided not to have a pre-built out document for you guys. I thought I would just wing it to show you, you know, maybe I'll mess up, and it's fine because I want to show you the simplicity of how we do things. So the most important thing is keyword research. I don't want this to be capitalized. So keyword research is everything. And how, you know, SEMrush, Ahrefs, you know, these tools are great. I used to use Google Keywords Planner kind of heavily. That was in Google Ads. But now I moved to Keywords Everywhere. And this is a Google Chrome extension. So this is pretty much what I use. Now, keep in mind, you know, no tool is 100% accurate. All right, I think it's what, $15 for 100K searches, I think it is. So check it out, and I'll show you how I use it. So that's my go-to tool, and that's all I use now. Like I have no other. I have my ranking software, and I have Keywords Everywhere. That's all I use to rank clients. So let's say we're going to go after, like, let's say I onboard an SEO client, a deck contractor in Atlanta, okay? Atlanta, Georgia. So what are we going to do? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to Google. We're going to type in deck builders. I know deck builders is the main keyword because I've used this niche before. You'll see deck builders is the main category. That's typically a hint with Google. Whatever the category is should be one of your main focus points. So custom deck, okay, so custom deck builder, deck company, deck builder, deck contractors, custom decks, deck designer. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to come up with our keyword research for this niche. How we can do that? We're going to use Keywords Everywhere. So I'll put in deck builders in Atlanta, deck contractors, Atlanta, deck company, Atlanta, custom decks, Atlanta. What else was there? Oh, what else? Custom deck building services. We could try that. It's not going to be a high one. Custom deck building services. Atlanta. We do composite decks, Atlanta. In fact, you know what? Let's just take this out. I want to prove my point. Well, let's do this. We'll start here. Wood decks, Atlanta. So let's just see. What are the main keywords? Okay. So what do we know? Deck builders is number 1. Deck contractors would be number 2. Cost per click is lower for deck builders. I'm going to lead with that one. It's always been that's the one I've always used as my meta title and my H1. So in order, so we're going to have, what are we going to do? We're going to do deck builders. This is going to be my meta title and H1. Deck contractors is my first H2. Okay. What else? Deck company is going to be number 3. Deck company, second H2. What are the keywords? Custom decks. We do that one. Custom decks could be a third H2. And then how I would typically round this out would be to frequently asked questions, FAQs would be an H2. Okay, so this would be literally how I'm going to build out my site. Okay, so our meta title, super simple. We'll do deck builders, Atlanta, Georgia, with a pipe, and then it's going to be company name. Right now, if you're doing a lead gen site and the name of your business is Atlanta Deck Builders, then you're not going to be able to use the company name here because you're keyword stuffing, right? But if it's like, John's Construction, then you would put the company name there, right? So you got to be smart with that. What I do is if I have a lead gen site that was called Atlanta Deck Builders, then I'm going to have my H1, my meta title here, but then what's going to go here, I've typically added like free estimates right here in the meta title. Why? Because it's a conversion strategy. It's a way to get people to take action. It could be composite deck. So I'm just put company name. So let's just assume that's that. Meta description. Keep it simple. Free estimates. Call. And this is going to be. Okay, so this is how I structure it. Why? Because if you're scrolling and you see capital letters and some quantitative information like numbers, what's going to happen is it's going to help disrupt people, and they're going to, pinpoint that. They're going to get their eyes on that. It's just a way to help with conversion. And then I would say, we are your professional deck contractor. So my strategy is always, I'm going to use the main keyword as my meta title, and then I'm going to use the secondary in the meta description, right? We are your professional deck contractors serving the greater Atlanta metro region. So maybe that would be my meta description, okay? So there's your meta title, okay? There's your meta description. Now what? Let me just grab these. Okay, so now what? So my H1 is going to be Deck Builders, Atlanta, Georgia, right? So I would do that. I'm always going to match them because it's sending Google a super clear signal, right? And then I'm going to have maybe 200 to 300 words of content supporting keyword. Mention main keyword 2 to 3 times at most. So that, you gotta be careful. I use ChatGPT. I've got some prompts that really do a good job with this, and it's like, you don't want to use a keyword too many times. I use my main keyword like maybe 3 times, on the entire website. If it's the company name, then obviously it's going to use maybe 5 or 6 times, but 1,000 words of content, not a big deal. Okay. So there's my H1, my first H2, going to be deck, we'll say trusted deck contractors in Atlanta, Georgia. Right. And then the same thing here. Okay. So there's our first 2 done. Yep. Now we're going to do, so there's our first one, right? There's our H1. And then here's our first H2. And then we're going to do our second H. This will be about our Atlanta deck company. Okay, so that would be my third one. Second H2, third header tag. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing here. Okay, and then we'll do third H2 is going to be we'll just do high quality custom decks in Atlanta, Georgia. So that would be like my third H2. And my fourth H2 is going to be frequently asked questions. Okay. Now, what are we going to do here? And then we're going to have H3 will be the so it will be question 1, and then text answer. And I'll probably have like 3 questions. So this will be question 2. You get the idea. Okay, so where are we gonna find inspiration for this? Okay, well, pretty simple. We just did Deck Builders Atlanta. Guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna come down to the people also ask section, if there is one. Surprisingly, there's not one in Atlanta. Deck Builders Atlanta, Georgia. Usually, there's a people also ask for every single. There we go. People also ask, how much does a deck cost to build? So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that exact, I'm not even going to change it. I'm going to use that exact question. And then I'm going to have ChatGPT write me an answer, okay? And then all I'm going to do is, how do I find a good deck builder? See, so here's what I've realized. This is what Google is telling us is important. These are the questions that we want to answer. And like, if you keep opening and closing this, it's just going to keep giving you more and more. And you just pick, do I need a permit? That's a good one. So essentially, that's my strategy, guys. I mean, that is as simple as it needs to be. So, you know, I'm going to do 1,000 words on homepage. Now, the caveat to this is the following. Find out what the top 3 have. Top 3 organically have in content, do 25% more. So as an example, like here's the old mentality is 1,000 words of content. Like I grew up in that with this. And what I would say is like, look, if the top guy has 500 words on his homepage, do 25% more. Like you don't have to do 1,000. Like if you want to do 1,000, fine, do 1,000. It's not hard to do 1,000 words of content anymore with ChatGPT prompts and stuff like that. But you know, that's 200, 400, 600, 800. You know, you're at 1,000 words without even blinking, right? So that, guys, is how I do keyword research. And that is how I would lay out my meta titles and descriptions and my header tags for a website. And literally, listen, I do this in like an hour. I can build out a brand new website, and I have a template that I built, and I pull it off the shelf, and I can fire up a website. In fact, the Autoglass client I just showed you, I took a template that I had, I fired up that site, I got it all done with on-page SEO, content, everything for that client in 3 hours. For lead gen, I could do them in like an hour because I'm repurposing images and renaming them and stuff like that. But the point is, this is the format you want to follow. Keep this super simple. This is literally all I'm doing. But you got to know how to do, you need to know how to audit a market. You need to know how to do all those other things. All right. So I hope this helps you guys. I'll provide this document to you so that you can actually review this. I want to mention one more thing. For those of you guys that are stuck and you're trying to figure out what to do moving forward, this is an option, not mandatory by any means. But if you need help clarifying your SEO process, okay, what do I teach? I teach everything, all my SEO stuff, all my mindset, all my best practices that I've been doing over the years, how to find ideal clients. You guys don't want revolving door businesses, so you got to know how to do that. The tools, I kind of talked about that. I've talked about keyword research, website builders. I haven't talked about that. Niche selection, how to audit websites effectively, call to action strategies, etc. Okay. This training is $997, so it's not for everybody, not a big deal. But I'm also covering lead gen as well. So I'm teaching how to build out a site in like under 90 minutes. And essentially, you build out a templated site the way I teach it, and then you can fire up a brand new site in like 90 minutes. And then I use Cloudflare. I talk about how I optimize everything. We build in Gutenberg with WordPress. I use like 3 plugins. My sites scream on GT metrics, as you could see, and they rank fast. And then I talk about ChatGPT and how we're using that. That's really effective. Buying phone numbers, the whole deal. Like everything you want to know. If you want to learn how to build out lead gen sites in like an hour and a half for $10 for the domain, and the rest is cost. Like I've got sites making me $1,000 a month that literally I have an hour of time in, and they've been sitting and they marinate on Google and they get me leads. So that's a whole other animal. So if this piques your curiosity, guys, the SEO Lead Gen Masterclass is about 2.5 to 3 hours in length. I used to charge $7,000 for everything, but now this whole thing is $997. The sales framework training is here as well. I'll teach you how to add 2 clients a month on 30 minutes of effort per day without selling people or handling objections. I teach this stuff all the time. That's $1. So I'm just throwing that in there essentially for $1. So the investment for this is $998. Is it for everybody? Of course not. Not a big deal. But if you see value in the stuff I've already kind of shared with you, and you guys want to dive in deeper, like I said, I used to charge $7,000 for everything. It's now under $1,000. And your return on investment on this is 2 to 4 weeks if you're prospecting the way I teach and without selling people. And you can get your money back within 2 weeks, 3 weeks if you're taking action properly. So what's going to make you successful? Be a great student, be consistent with your work, have a great attitude. So guys, that is the masterclass and the sales framework. You can check that out if you want to. I will provide you guys with this document as well. If you have any questions for me, you can private message me, guys. Have yourselves a great day, and see you on the inside.